Hi. I just listened to a podcast recently, and it was a Marc Maron podcast, and he had Gloria Steinem on. I don't know how old it was, but I saw that and I said, I'd definitely like to listen to this. But after a few minutes, I realized that either he's ignorant or he's just a chicken shit liberal, which there are some out there. I don't know what happens to formerly edgy, intelligent interviewers, personalities who you come to respect as someone who's going to not give you bullshit. So that's why we listen to these people. But after listening to some of this podcast, and he was just throwing softball after softball at Gloria Steinem, pretty much just nodding his head, it sounded like nodding his head because I didn't hear any questioning of anything she was saying. I just had to conclude that formerly provocative interviewers like Marc Maron all of a sudden is too chicken shit to embarrass or ruffle any feathers of famous people that he might interview. All of a sudden he loses all credibility. I've seen that with Bill Maher. That's why I'm doing this video, because I'm angry at these people that they don't continue to probe for the truth at anyone's expense, including your subject or your guest. Marc Maron, what were you scared of Gloria Steinem getting mad at you and walking out and then her telling all her friends that don't go on that show? You've got no balls, Marc. What happened to you? And I have to say, Bill Maher also. What happened to you too? He just interviewed. Her name is Asra Nomani. Because he is very provocative in his criticism of religion and Islam, and so is she. So he brings her out and says that she's one of his idols, but then just totally shuts up when he hears feminist craziness. And I know that he has criticized feminism in the past, but all of a sudden, he's mute. So I just had to make this video. You really do have to go and listen to this Marc Maron podcast with Gloria Steinem. Because, of course, she comes out with, they start talking about women's rights and how she came to how she came to do what she does. And, of course, she starts talking about her father. And her father sort of taught her what's right is right and stuff. It's funny how these feminists who had fathers go and tell the world that fathers are not important. I'll say fathers are good for you, but for everybody else, no one else needs fathers, huh? Okay, feminists? So anyway, she talks about the ERA. And of course, they laugh about how, they laugh at Phyllis Schlafly, who had fought her and fought the ERA. But of course, she's now silent about the ERA. Marc, why didn't you ask her why this is the perfect time to resurrect the ERA? We're going to get maybe Hillary Clinton as president. The world is so much more liberal and progressive, quote unquote progressive, than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. So wouldn't it be a perfect time? Feminism is at its zenith of power. So wouldn't it be really a slam dunk to get the ERA passed? But, MRAs, such as I know, people who really know about gender issues and real feminism, feminists don't want the ERA passed because that would actually give men more rights than they have now and probably bring women down a peg because men don't have reproductive rights now. She was talking about how the war on women right now is slowly putting some restrictions on abortion. So that's sort of like taking away some of women's reproductive rights. And I guess that would be true. I have no thoughts one way or the other. I do believe in a woman's right to choose. But I also believe in a men's right to choose, and men don't have any of that. So, talk about the ERA, that would give men an immediate, probably a legal standing to get their own reproductive rights. And women don't want that. Feminists don't want that. So, in other words, if a woman got pregnant and she had the right to have an abortion, a man should have that equal right on paper to not be forced into fatherhood. There would be, a man would be able to say, no, I don't want to be a father now, just like a woman has the same right. And no one's going to force me into fatherhood, and you're not going to make me pay child support. If this woman wants to have the child, have at it. You have this child on your own dime, though. What about the selective service? The ERA would stop men from just only men having to register for the selective service and get drafted. So those are two items right there. How about a third? Circumcision. Why are baby girls protected by law from getting genitally mutilated, but boys aren't? So we have three biggies right there that I would vote for in a second, and any MRAs that I know of would vote for an ERA. But it's funny how feminists are silent now about the ERA. Because I think feminists, well, I know feminists know that they have special rights and privileges, and the ERA would take away a lot of that. Marc Maron, why didn't you mention about the ERA and why they aren't bringing it up now? Also, Gloria Steinem talks about democracy, huh? And Marc Maron's joking about how, we're getting away from democracy, huh? Well, Gloria Steinem, I don't know how she pulls this off, but she's a democratic socialist. She is an honorary board member of the Socialist Party, okay? But she talks about democracy. How does democracy jibe with socialism? And also, she writes books and she sells books. She makes a point of dissing or arguing against capitalism. So how does she fight capitalism, but she's for democracy, but she's also for making profits from books? That's hypocrisy. And Marc Maron, you did no homework. Not at all. Are you kidding me? Look her up. She also talked about how, I don't know if she had said she had met Ho Chi Minh, but she said Ho Chi Minh was once living in New York City. She's just a phony. She pays lip service to democracy and capitalism. She's just a horrible person. And Marc Maron just became a chicken shit. Along with Bill Maher, as I was saying, he had on his show Azra Nomani, a Muslim feminist. And I have to say that Bill Maher, I admire him, and I still do. He's right about religion. He's right about liberals and political correctness. But then he just falls down and is a chicken shit, or just ignorant about the feminist part. I believe he has criticized feminism in the past, but I don't think he's that much chicken about scaring off any guests, because he is well known enough, I think. So Azra Nomani had written a book, and Bill Maher brings up this Woman's Bill of Rights that's in the book, and her first item on it is that the right for a woman to have sex or not. All right, so yeah, I mean, I guess in Pakistan, maybe they don't have equal rights there, but in the first world, of course, women and men have the right to have sex. But her second point is a woman has the right to have an orgasm. That's pretty odd, because I don't know where men have any rights to have orgasms anywhere in the world either. But of course, there's an applause, wild applause. And then Bill follows it up with, and the right to have a clitoris. And then he says, that's not a joke. Well, which of course, who can disagree with anyone's anyone saying that women should have the right to their clitoris. But the elephant in the room, Bill, of course, is do men have, or boys have the right to their foreskins? Which, right here in your city, wherever you live, Bill, they are doing that every day. And do you care? You don't seem to care at all. But God forbid anyone touches a woman's private parts, and that's a human rights violation, which it is. But Bill, are you so ignorant that you don't know that they do this to baby boys every day? Are you ignorant or stupid or just sexist? Bill, oh my God, please. Do a little research. Take care.